Did they fix that? Of course they didn't. Well, looks like Vidyard still has the laggy recording, and this is edition, I think, 14 of weekly football updates. So cool. Yeah, and this isn't gonna get any views, which is why I'm just doing laggy recording anyway. But I don't know what I just said, but a Thursday night game, not Patriots, the Rams beat the Patriots 24-3. Everyone thought the Patriots might actually have a chance in this game, but they didn't. All right, yeah, no, they didn't. Sunday games, Bears destroyed the Texans 36-7. I thought this was actually going to be a close game, but it wasn't. Okay, the Bears destroyed, and my opponent had Mr. Trubisky, and he finally, like in fantasy, I had Mr. Trubisky, and Mr. Trubisky, for the first time this season, decided to actually have a good game, so that's pretty lit. I still won though somehow. Cowboys beat the Bengals 30-7 because some dude got a scoop score. Chiefs beat the Dolphins, but it was close. The Dolphins got to a 10-0 lead, but then the Chiefs ended up winning because they have Mahomes. Cardinals beat the Giants 26-7. That wasn't really close, but what's it called? And some dude got 5 sacks apparently. So yeah, Buccaneers beat the Vikings because some dude did some stuff. I don't really know what else to say about that. Broncos beat the Panthers. Tim Patrick is the GOAT. Titans beat the Jaguars. Derrick Henry's even more of a GOAT. He had another 200-yard rushing game this game. So I think this is his second this season. In what would be the shootout of the week if the Browns-Ravens game didn't exist, the Colts beat the Raiders 27-44, and yeah, okay. And you have a bad defense when your offense scores 27 points and still manages to get shut out. And then here you go. You got the Jets just being the Jets, lost by yet another massive point differential, added a negative 37 to their point differential. The Seahawks won 40-3. That wasn't really surprising though. Packers beat the Lions, but it was actually pretty close. I thought the Packers were going to run away with it because the Lions suck, but I guess not. Eagles beat the Saints somehow. I guess Jalen Hurts is a god, and the Saints are now 10-3. They ended their win streak in the blown leads bowl. Fun fact: both of these teams blew leads in this game, which isn't really surprising. The Chargers are winning first, and the Falcons were winning, and the Chargers came back and won. So they both blew leads, and the Chargers, yeah, as I said, came back and won. The Washington Reds, the football team beat the 49ers somehow because apparently it was their first road win without a offensive touchdown since 1992. They had 2 defensive touchdowns, and yeah, all right, cool. And the Bills beat the Steelers because the Steelers suck. They lost to the Washington football team, Jesus. And in what was actually the shootout of the week, the Ravens beat the Browns 47-42. So this is it for the scores. Let us now go to the stats. Now, before we get to our scores, even though I won, I just want to say how unlucky I was in fantasy this week. I won eventually 107-104 because J.K. Dobbins clutched, but first of all, Justin Herbert underperformed, but not by a lot. 15.72 points. That's respectable. Taysom Hill actually did pretty well. He almost met his projection, 18.9 points. So my quarterbacks did really well. Once again, Derrick Henry carried my fantasy team, got another 36.2 points. That was like a third of my score. That's actually less a fraction than it was some other weeks, but first and then here comes the super stuff. So Todd Gurley massively underperformed. He got half his projection. Chris Godwin underperformed even more. He got a third of his projection. Tim Patrick actually did pretty good. He got 12.6 points. Noah Fant, in my tight end spot, was projected to get 10. And then, I don't know what really happened. Maybe he got injured or something. But he was out the first quarter. So he didn't have a catch. And we had no points. And the Saints defense scored negative points. And the Brennan McManus, the Denver kicker, missed 2 extra points. So he had 2 points. And so my opponent, I should have easily won this game because my opponent sucks but since I had such bad luck, yeah. But then J.K. Dobbins clutched in the end and needed them to get 10 points to win, and he got 13. Let's go. And let's just go through my bench real quick. And let us just say the one of the receivers I started had 4.5 points. All right, on my bench, A.J. Green, 18 points. Baker, 30 points. I mean, Baker Mayfield, who was a quarterback, but he was still could have replaced him with Justin Herbert and got 15 more. And then you got Marquise Brown with 13. That's better. Marquez Valdes-Scantling with 20. That's better. David Moore with 11. That's better. Damian Harris had 6. Not really starting him. Gerald Everett was better than my tight end, but I feel like this is taking way too long. I just want to finish this by saying Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I am strongly convinced he sees my fantasy team. When he sees I started him, he just decides not to have a good game, not to have a catch, maybe even have some negative points in there as well. And then when he sees I benched him, he decides to get, 20 points a game. So that's great. And nothing more is needed to be said about that. All right, cool. It's taking way too long. Let's go to the stats now. All right, this is going to be a quick stats thing, just like last week. But Patrick Mahomes is way ahead in the passer yard things, just not really unusual. Then you got Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Matt Ryan. Derrick Henry is first in the rushing thing, and then you got Dalvin Cook and James Robinson, who finally passed 1,000 yards this week, and then you got Ronald Jones and Nick Chubb. Receiving leaders, Travis Kelce is now first. He's a tight end. Then you got DK Metcalf, what's his name, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, and DeAndre Hopkins. Cool. Defensive leader tackles, you got Zach Cunningham, Jalen Smith, Roquan Smith, Blake Martinez, and Devin White. Sacks leaders, Aaron Donald got yet another sack-looking thing, so he's leading the league in sacks again. He is first. Then you got TJ Watt, Darius Smith, Trey Hendrickson, and Myles Garrett. Then you got interceptions leaders. Xavier Howard is running away with this one. He has an interception in 5 straight games. He now has 9. Then you got J.C. Jackson with 7. Tyrann Mathieu with 6. And then Harrison Smith and Quadre Diggs are both shown here with 4. Probably some other people have 4, but screw it. This has been the long edition of Weekly Football Updates, and I don't really care because it's going to get no views anyway. But yes, I'm going to leave now. Goodbye.